Right then. Well, as you can see, I am back in paradise, sitting on the Zen porch. Nice breeze blowing at me off the lake. Very comfortable out here right now. Yes. Um, I guess today was a day of freebies. Yeah. Earlier in the day, I was driving down the road and I pulled a DTR. Yep, a Sanford and Son. But the thing is, I'm actually going to use this item uh, that I scavenged off the side of the highway. Unlike DTR, who just puts it on top of the pile in his garage, and his garage gradually fills up from floor to ceiling with useless junk that he's never going to use and he's never going to sell, aka pack rat. I got my hands on a rod sock. Yeah, what the hell is that, you said? It's a piece of plastic. Oh, here it is. It's expandable. Okay. And it goes over a fishing rod and it protects the fishing rod from scratches, dings, nicks, things like that. You slide it down over the fishing rod, and that's how you store and transport your expensive fishing rods. Yeah. It blew off of somebody's rod that they had back in their boat as they were driving down the road. They never knew it was gone until they got to their destination. And freebie. So I whipped around, went back and got that. I knew right away what it was when I saw it laying on the shoulder of the road. Yeah. So I have a couple of them already. They're not cheap. They're about 10 bucks a piece, 10, 12. So being able to protect another one of my fishing rods is a good thing. Not that I go anywhere now to go fishing when I have epic fishing right outside my front or my back door. So, but you know, it's one of those deals where it'll get boring and I'll want to go to other waters. Plus muskie fishing. And there's no muskies in my lake, so I got to go down the road to pursue those. Yeah. But we're home. Got a full day in. Punched out about 4:30ish. Punched in around 7:30. So got a full day in. The day went really well. All of the calls were completes or first time completes, except for the last one. 36-inch wide commercial series Wolf oven that was having some ignition problems in the oven. And I troubleshoot it. And the customer, actually, who's a former computer tech, he troubleshooted it himself. And we both came to the same consensus. Yeah. The direct spark ignition board is faulty. So, ordered up one of those. He's out of warranty. So, he's going to decide whether he wants to buy the part himself online and put it in himself and save himself some labor and costs on the part, or have me come out and do it. Yeah. But anyway, so that is the summary of my day. But I'll tell you what, sure is nice to not have JC sitting in his office, bored out of his gourd, looking at the computer screen and micromanaging and babysitting us. Yeah, he'll be down for an extended period of time, so we're going to get a mini vacation from micromanagement. It's going to be nice. Unless, of course, Bert steps in and then it'll get 4 times as bad. Hoping that's not the case. Yeah. Had a horrible thought this morning when I was driving down the road. The self-proclaimed best tech in the company was promoted to a newly created position. And as a result, he's taking managerial training. Yeah. So if JC, who yesterday got out of surgery around 1:30 in the afternoon, everything went well. He's doing okay. He apparently had a good night's sleep. He slept through the night with not too many problems. If he recovers, but decides, no, you know what, I'm not coming back, somebody's got to become service manager. And you know who's chomping at the bit for that job? The self-proclaimed best tech in the company. This is a narcissistic little, well, I'm not going to talk. Yeah. Shut up, Ken. He's thirsty for power. Yeah. The incompetent ones always are. Yeah. They know they're grossly inadequate. And they just crazy to get into a position of power so they can throw their weight around without being competent or qualified enough to do so. So that's what this guy's doing. And if a vacuum is created, if JC leaves, the self-proclaimed best tech in the company will go for this position lock, stock, and barrel, just so he can be in charge over us. Tell us what to do. Punish us if we cross him or we don't do something his way. Yep. Have the power to hire and fire. Yep. If and when that day comes, you will see this guy looking for a new company to work for. Yeah, that's for sure. I know of one right now that would probably hire me. They're struggling to keep up with demand for service work. So, yeah. But anyway, I digress. So we're home. I'm hungry. I'm going to make some dinner, and then I'm going to try to stay disciplined and not sit in the chair and pass out. I brought that filing cabinet home, and I'm going to wrestle that into the house. We're supposed to possibly get some thunderstorms tonight, and I don't need that getting wet and rusty. So we'll get that in the house. And I might keep working on that trim project in the master bedroom. Yeah. So on the Mia front, she's apparently some of my comments about her not chiming in when she's on these road trips is registering, because she's been a regular chatty Cathy today. So that's a good thing. She got some funny picture of a guy at this auction purchased a piece of equipment. It appears to me like it's a hot vat, tow behind hot vat that the guys that do asphalt sealing of parking lots and driveways drag around behind a truck. Has a couple of big 100-pound bottles of propane on it. And that's what I think it is. I think it's a big vat that they heat the asphalt sealer in, and then they spray it on your driveway or on your parking lot. But what was so funny about it was that he was driving a Tesla car. And he hooked this onto the back of this Tesla car. Tesla cars, as far as to my knowledge, are not designed or rated to tow things. I don't know. It had a hitch on the vehicle, so maybe they are. But all I can see is overstressing the electric motors trying to tow this heavy piece of equipment, possibly starting a battery on fire and having your car burn up. So Mia's watching this clown show. Now the guy, um, African American, um, he was wearing cowboy boots, shorts, short shorts, athletic short shorts, and a athletic type shirt. Mia's pretty sure he was light in the loafers, but why he's playing for the other team, why he's, I don't know. It's something that would most definitely end up on YouTube and go viral. Yeah. So she was getting a good chuckle out of that. This last customer that I had this Wolf oven that I was working on, we got to talking after the call, and the subject came up about fixing your own stuff. And he told me a story of his son, who's a orthopedic surgeon. Yep. And him and his wife had a baby right during COVID. It was a baby boy. And they were allowed to go into the hospital to have the baby, but they were not allowed to go back to the hospital to have him circumcised. It was essential medical procedures only during COVID. Remember that? Yep. You know what this guy did? He put his baby on the kitchen counter and did the circumcision himself. On the kitchen counter. Right. Surgery. On the counter. Yeah. Holy crap. Fix it yourself. I like him. I like him already. It's pretty cool. So that was an interesting story. Yeah, it's one of the best stories I've heard all year. All right. I am going to go get some food in me and try to get some stuff done before it's time to, once again, fall asleep in the therapy chair without a happy ending, because I don't have a servant living here to take care of my every need. So it sucks to be me. It sucks to be me. No, it doesn't. I'm doing all right. Yeah. All right. We'll talk to you soon.